Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Symone McDaniels, and I'd love to introduce you to our research team. Here we've got Redding Laura Luckert, Summer Chan, and David Arias. This semester, we conducted a research study to investigate if the practice in public relations of screening applicants on Facebook is adversely affecting certain candidates based on race and gender. In order to investigate that question, we utilized priming theory, and it was a great experience. We're going to hear a little bit more about priming theory.
So priming theory essentially seeks to explain the relationship between media images and the social influence they have on the viewers. So two of our researchers that we've incorporated into our literature review, Jacobs and Shapiro, argue that sustained repetitive images and messages in the media can have a heavy influence on people's professional opinion and perception of others that they view different from themselves. Moreover, we have our researcher Robinson, who we've also incorporated, who found that the increase in the broadcast for primetime shows, so primetime shows typically depict Black people in a negative or stereotypical way, was associated with the unemployment rate for the Black population, as well as the Black-white population, Black-white unemployment rate gap. So in our research, we prime participants with either a Black man, a Black woman, a white man, or a white woman, and prompt them to, on multifaceted scales, their immediate ideas on these applicants, including credibility and competence. From that, isolating race and gender, we sort of look at, we examine how race and gender, we examine how these, isolating them allows us to view priming effects in a more subtle depiction between racial and gender-based differential treatment.
This online post-test experiment used a convenience and snowball sample of 120 PR professionals in the United States. After giving consent, subjects reviewed a job description, read a gender-neutral and racially ambitious candidate resume. Then they were randomly assigned to one of four treatment groups: a white male, white female, black female, white female, yeah. Or the control group, which contained a Facebook photo with a mixed race and gender group where the job candidate was unidentifiable. Subjects were instructed to review the assigned candidate's Facebook profile and then answer questions for a credibility and characteristics semantic differential scale. They also provided demographic information and completed a manipulation check to determine if the participant was aware of the race and gender of the applicant they reviewed. To isolate the impact of social media screening in assessment of job applicants, we then compared differences in subject responses on the credibility and character assessment of the applicant.
75% of the respondents were female. 85% of our respondents were white. Only 3% of the respondents themselves were Black. So that is in line with the average PR professionals that are practicing right now. We use two unidimensional summative indexes, and our significant finding is that PR professionals who have hiring characteristics or hiring capabilities have a higher level of credibility, or place a higher level of credibility and characteristics on those Facebook profiles. Essentially what they're doing is taking a look at what you write, they're taking a look at your photo, and they're basically saying that has some relevance to whether you are able to be hired or not hired. We hypothesized that race and gender would interact additively in this experiment, and thus the white male would benefit higher in perceptions of credibility and characteristics, while the white female would receive the lowest levels based on perception for gender and race. However, this experiment revealed no statistically significant difference between race and gender with respect to whether someone was hired.
So our study shows that gender and race do not have a significant impact on how employers assess the candidate's credibility and characteristic. This might be due to the increased attention on how PR essay put on the issues of diversity within the PR industry. Also, our study shows that PR practitioners with hiring responsibility assign higher levels of character for a candidate's PR Facebook profile. It can be explained by how the publication and magazine articles promote the ideas of using social media for candidates' background check. There are several limitations of our study. First, we do not have an overall representation of the diversity in PR industry. Second, we have a small sample and we use national snowball sampling. Also, in our consent form, we imagine it's a race and gender study, so the participant may get an influence on how to respond and react.
Awesome. So in sum here, though the findings were very encouraging that there was no true difference between race and gender and the assessments of character and credibility in this experiment, still in our literature review, we found a lack of scholarship on the topic of race and gender in public relations. And so our aims in this study and conducting this experiment was to contribute to that discussion, because currently African Americans are still underrepresented in the PR field, and female PR practitioners face different career advancement barriers that their male counterparts just don't face. So we believe that there should be more research done in this industry that looks at increasing gender and racial equity for all public relations professionals. Thank you.